Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be making predictions for Worlds 2019. Let's just get straight into it. Just like last time, let's start out with multi-blind. So, for multi-blind, I think the top 3 on the psych sheet for Nationals are registered for Worlds, but I don't think it's going to be the same outcome. So I think Graham will still get first because, again, his world record is recent, and that means he is probably working pretty hard, recently. This time I will do predictions for this. I'll just do the, how many cubes. So I think he'll go for, sorry about that. I think he'll go for a solid, well, I don't know if he wants to risk, not getting enough points. So I think he'll go with 40, I think he'll get a 45 out of 48. I think that's a pretty good statement, and I think he'll get first with that. And he'll finish in, I guess, somewhere, let's just say he's not going to finish at 60 minutes unless he's pretty nervous. Second place, I think it's going to be Yu Cheng Chen, or I think for Chinese names it's the last name first, so Chen Yu Cheng. I could be wrong about that, but right now he has a 47 out of 49, and I think he will go for a higher number than Graham, but won't get as many points. So I think he'll get a 45 out of 50 in close to an hour. I think just maybe 2 or 3 minutes below. Third place, I think it will be pretty tight between Shivam, I don't know if that's how to pronounce it, but Shivam or Mark. Not gonna try to pronounce his last name, either of them actually. So I think that's gonna be a pretty close one, and I think Mark is really gonna want to get the podium. But I already said that Mark was gonna podium for Nationals, so I'll give it to Shivam to get third with a I don't know. He has a 48 out of 48, so I think he's a pretty solid, multi-blind solver. He's pretty consistent and pretty accurate, I would say. So I think he will get a 50 out, no, I think he'll get a 40, gosh, I don't know. Maybe he might not do as well. Let's just go for 44 out of 50. Let's just say he was really close to the second place next to Chen Yu Cheng. So, and then he'll finish in an hour, I think. So I think that's a solid prediction. And let's move on to the next event. 5x5 blindfolded, I think Stanley Chapel will get first because he is an absolute god at big cube blind. I think Graham is going to be focusing more on 3x3 multi-blind than big cube blind, but I could be mistaken. So I'll just go with Kaijun Lin or Lin Kaijun for second place, and Tom Nelson for third. I think they will all get under 4 minutes. Now into 4x4 blindfolded. Obviously, first place, Stanley Chapel. I think a solid second place is Kaijun Lin or Lin Kaijun, because he is basically the next closest person, and it's less of a gap between. Is it? Wait. Well, anyway, I think he will beat Tomoya by a little bit, and it's gonna look like what it looks like on the psych sheet for podium, and it will be all sub 150, maybe. I think that's a good prediction, even though they both, all three of them have sub 140 singles, and the only people with sub 140 singles, so that's pretty cool. Next event is Square One. So last year we got surprised with Daniel Karnock getting third, and that was the only, well, yeah, it was the only person from the US, I think, and Jaden won. But this year it looks like we've got quite a bit of diversity in terms of names. I haven't heard of any of these people, and they're from Indonesia, China, Denmark, Japan. So let's see. I think Martin, not gonna try to pronounce that first name, Egdal, is going to, that middle name, I mean, is going to get first. I think that's a solid prediction, with Makoto in second and Jiazu Lee Jiazu, something like that, in third. And they're all going to get sub 9 averages at the least. I think they will all get sub 850 though, so that's a pretty solid prediction, I'd say. Now on to Scube. Okay, so I think that this year might be a little bit different. I think that Michael is going to win, Michael Rzuski. I don't think that's how you pronounce his last name, but I think he'll get first. I think Lucas will get third, and Anthony will get second, because from what I understand, Lucas's average was pretty lucky. Yeah, he gets a lot of sub 3s, but they're just not too low. Then again, Michael hasn't really been practicing. So let me change this. Lucas first, Michael third, and Anthony Lafourcade, I don't know, second. And they're all going to get, for finals, sub 330 averages. Yeah, we'll go with that. Although I'm pretty confident one of them getting a sub 2. I mean sub 3 average. Next event is Pyraminx, and man, we've got the first place for the world record holder for average and single at this competition. So this is going to be interesting, but I'm thinking that Timon is going to get first, and Dominic is going to get second, and Elvin Thorson is going to be third, and they're all going to have sub 2.5 averages. I think that's a pretty solid prediction, because these guys are really fast at this event. For Megaminx, right off the bat, Juan Pablo Juanqui, number 1. I almost guarantee it. I would be shocked if somebody else beat him. And surprisingly, Felix is number 3 on the psych sheet. So I'm not sure how that's going to go for him. I think he's going to be more focused on 3x3 though. So I'll leave Juan Pablo at first and Amos at second. And we'll bump up John Zich. Don't think that's how you pronounce it. We'll bump him up to third, and they're all going to get sub 40 averages. I think that's a pretty solid prediction. For Clock, oh boy. Okay. Yunhao Lu, or Lu Yunhao, first place. I am pretty confident with that, and actually I'm going to leave this psych sheet alone for top 3. Although Evan Liu might be more focused on nationals, so maybe Nathaniel could beat him for worlds, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to leave the top 3 alone, and they're all going to have sub 5.5 averages. Yeah, we'll go with sub 5.5. Next event, feet. Daniel is not going, so this is interesting. This is where it gets difficult for me. Okay, we'll stick with Henry Gerber for first, and we'll put Jacob, whatever, the guy in 4th on the site sheet in 2nd, with Mohammed in 3rd, and they're all gonna have sub 30 averages pretty obviously, I would say. I would be shocked if any of them didn't. So yeah. 3x3 one-handed, number 1 Max Park, number 2 Felix, and number 3 Keon. So I'm just switching Felix and Keon because, like I said, Felix is going to be focusing on 3x3, and this is really close to 3x3. Even though I know it's Keon's main event, I think Felix can pull that off. And yeah, I think these guys are all going to get sub 10.5 averages. I think there's going to be a pretty good scramble set for their scrambles for 3x3 one-handed. For 3x3 FMC, I really want to leave this psych sheet alone because the top 3 people are number 1, number 2, and number 2, because Walker, Welch, and Sebastian Aru are tied. They're all number 2 for world record with a 24 mean, and they both have okay singles. I don't know. Harry Savage could do well. You know what? I'm gonna put Sebastiano at first, Sebastian at 2nd, and Harry at 3rd. And I think technically Sebastian and I think Harry and Sebastian will tie with a 25 mean. Put it at that. And Sebastiano will get a 24.33 or 0.67 mean. I'm not really sure which one, but that's saying that the scrambles I think are going to be pretty good. For 3x3 blindfolded, alright, we have number 1, number 2, number 3, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8 in the world all signed up. Makes it hard, especially when the top 4 are number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 5 for world record single, and number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 1, or 1, 2, 3, 4 for mean. But it's single, so we'll put Max at 1st, Jack at 2nd, and Jake Klassen at 3rd. And they're all going to have sub 19 single. I think that's a good prediction. Sub 19, yeah. Getting onto the big cubes, I think most of these are going to be pretty consistent. So, yeah, I think all of them are just going to be, Max Park, Felix Zemdegs, and Kevin Hayes. So we'll put, for 7x7, Max first, Kevin, no. We'll leave the 7x7 one alone and say that they're all going to get a sub 210 mean. And then for 6x6, I think it's gonna be the same, minus Kevin Hayes, and just put Sun Hooking on. And so we'll leave the psych sheet alone, I guess. And they're all gonna have sub 130 means. think that's a pretty good prediction. On to 5x5. Okay, these are actually pretty different. Max Park first, Felix second, and Sun Hiknam third, which is actually changing the site sheet, meaning that I'm going to bump Ciaron down to fourth, and they're all going to get sub 48 averages. And then on to 4x4, number 1 Max Park, number 2 Sebastian, and number 3 I'll put Bill Wang. Yeah, let's do that. So Max, Sebastian, and then Bill, and it's going to be well, they're all going to get sub 25. No, that's 2 lucky scrambles. Sub 26 averages. Let's say that. Okay, for 2x2, this is really exciting because my friend Zane is third on the psych sheet. So, we'll see how he does. I hope he does well. So, first place is going to be Martin Edgal. So, I'm really rooting for Zane, and I know that's the only thing he's going to be practicing up until Worlds. So, we'll put him at second. Hopefully he does that, and we'll put Kevin Gerhardt at third, because 2x2 is luck based, but I think all of these guys have pretty good algorithms, so they're all gonna get sub 1.7 averages. Now into the main event of the game. 3x3. This is gonna be so hard, because Felix got new world record, and I know that's the thing he's gonna be practicing up until Nationals. But it's the same with Max Park. Okay, let's put Lucas at third, because he's doing well, even though he returned a long time ago. But we'll put Lucas at third. I know Felix had a really bad time last Worlds, so... Whoa, I almost dropped the camera, sorry. We'll put him at first, Max second, but extremely close to each other, and then Lucas third. They're all gonna get sub 8 averages because it's so stressful for World's Finals. So we'll put it at that, and that ends my predictions for Worlds 2019. But I want to add a little something before I go. I think some world records broken will be... I know I already predicted some of these podiums, but some world records might happen in earlier rounds. So I think there's going to be one in Pure Minx, one in 5x5, one in 3x3 blindfolded, one in clock. But I could not tell you the times and who's going to do it. I'm having a feeling that those events will have world records. And who knows, that I might be surprised by something like 2x2, where it's extremely luck-based, or Scube, but I think there's going to be a world record for Scube at Nationals, which is going to be exciting. Especially if it's single, because that is the second longest running world record, currently with 3x3 one-handed single in first, for the longest. But we'll leave those at that. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next time.